Kaieteur Radio, keeping you informed.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Burby's 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
Good evening and welcome to this evening's newscast right here on Kaieteur Radio. I am Kevin Smith. Before we get to the news in detail, let's get to the front page comment of today's Kaieteur news. Payara was a masquerade from the beginning. It was an elaborate dog and pony show. Now that the license is approved, all the government's yapping and howling can cease. The government has deceived the public by its submission to the will of ExxonMobil. What it promised the people, it did not deliver. The PPPC started out on the wrong foot with Payara. It picked up the wrong persons to review the contract. The review of the Payara Field Development Plan has not been made public, yet the government has been hasty in inking the deal. It did not see it fit to even consult the Guyanese people. The PPPC is already in overdrive, trying to sell us false dreams about trillions of dollars which we will earn as a result of this deal. They are, however, silent about the $9 billion price tag which has to be paid by the people for this plan and about their abysmal failure to negotiate any substantial improvement in benefits. Payara was a lost opportunity. The PPPC squandered the chance of righting past wrongs and rebalancing the oil agreements in the country's favor. Instead of the Treasury benefiting from a bonanza, all the people got were empty words. Payara is a bitter pill for Guyanese. Their hopes have once again been dashed at the hands of their political leaders. It is time for the Guyanese people to let their leaders know how they feel about this grand betrayal. And now for the news in detail. ExxonMobil has awarded in excess of $1 billion in Payara development contracts already, with the project being approved just 2 days ago by Minister of Natural Resources Vikram Bharat and EPA Executive Director Sharifa Razak. The contracts were awarded to Dutch firm SBM Offshore and French company Technip FMC. SBM announced early yesterday that ExxonMobil's local subsidiary, Esso, awarded it several contracts for the next phase of the project to consult, install, then lease and operate the oil vessel for a period of 2 years. After that period, the ownership of the vessel will be transferred to ExxonMobil. The arrangement is similar to the deals for the Liza Destiny and Unity vessels. In other news, with hopes of securing the contract to market Guyana's crude for the next 12 months, 29 companies and commodity traders have submitted their requests for proposals to the Department of Energy. According to the list, 8 of them are newer applicants, with 14 having a checkered past. If Guyana wants to ensure that the portion of oil revenue set aside for procurement purposes is not at risk for corruption, then it would be wise to ensure the award of contracts is subjected to a competitive process that is underpinned by transparency. This was noted by expert on oil sector corruption Alexander Gillies. Gillies said that local authorities would be wise to keep an eye out for anonymous shell companies, as they have appeared in almost every corruption case that she has examined for the last decade. In other news, the Ministry of Natural Resources said that local content advisory panel is expected to produce and submit its first report and recommendations by next month. The panel, chaired by Shyam Nokta, is expected to review all existing initiatives and policies where local content is concerned and guide the development of a new policy legislation. Government said that the panel has been meeting regularly and intends to conduct consultations with key stakeholders, including from the private sector, government, and civil society. And moving on, former editor-in-chief of Kaieteur News Adam Harris has taken the stand in defense of the contents of a Demboise article published in 2014. Harris is being cross-examined in relation to the article, which is the subject of a libel suit brought against the newspaper by former head of NISL, Winston Brassington. NISIL is the company used by the government to make investments and manage state projects. According to the claims, Brassington is accusing Kaieteur News of making several offensive and libelous statements in relation to his role in several state projects. Yesterday, Harris faced a series of questions from attorney for Brassington, Timothy Jonas, as the trial continued before Justice Fidel Corbin Lincoln. Get the full details of yesterday's court hearing in today's Kaieteur News. And moving on, a 64-year-old construction worker accused of killing his brother was placed on $400,000 bail after being slapped with a manslaughter charge. The defendant, O'Neill Jordan of Denhamstel, West Coast Demerara, appeared virtually before Magistrate Zamina Ali C. Paul at the Lenora Magistrates Court. He was not required to plead to the indictable offense, which stated that last September 24th at Back Street, Denhamstel, he allegedly killed his brother, 55-year-old Winston Jordan. According to a police report, Jordan's body was fished out of a trench by two persons who were passing. This was after the defendant allegedly threw him overboard and refused to render assistance. The defendant is expected to make his next court appearance on January 27, 2021. And moving on, Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation Hugh Todd on Thursday met with Minister of External Relations of the Federative Republic of Brazil, Ambassador Ernesto Araújo. Among mutual areas of interest, they discussed the enhancement of bilateral relations, the Linden to Latham Road link, South-South cooperation, technical cooperation, and trade. Guyana and Brazil established diplomatic relations on August 26, 1968. Cooperation covers a broad range of areas, including trade, health, agriculture, transport, and security matters. In other news, the newly appointed board of directors for the CHNPA have begun meeting virtually, with the aim of fast-tracking the mandate of the agency in the interest of all Guyanese. According to a release from the authority, Cabinet recently granted approval for the new board to take up their respective appointments. The board is chaired by Dr. Emmanuel Cummings, and its other members include Julius Faber, David Armagon, Michael Hudson, and Cosmos DeSantos, among others. Dr. Cummins once served as a board member in the past. The board held its first meeting on Tuesday last, and another meeting was convened today.
And that's the news of the moment. Remember to get the full details of these stories, pick up a copy of the Kaieteur News. And don't forget, you can catch us on the MyTuner app as well as the Radio Garden app. You can also keep up to date by liking our Facebook page at Kaieteur Radio and subscribing to our YouTube channel, Kaieteur Radio Livestream. Oh, also catch our stream at www.kaieteurnewsonline.com/radio.